Let me first start. Yeah, I want to be sure that everybody is here before I. Just want to give a few minutes for.
Just use it. This is my system really good for this meeting, so I don't have to plan one to one.
Okay. Yeah. Joel, why are you having two devices? Is it the same person or different person?
So sorry, perhaps someone is also bearing Joel here.
Okay. Maybe there are two.
Perhaps I will edit my name as because I'm the first.
Yeah. Maybe you should add something to your name. Sorry.
Okay.
I have some people's. Is Josh here? I have some people's. What's it called? Okon Joshua is not here, eh? Is Okon Joshua here? No. Okay. But these other people that I have the proposal, I don't know. Their name is not attached to this. So whose title is application of polymers and composites in oil and gas piping? Is the person here? Okay. Whose proposal is okay? Is Unjoku here? Unjoku Ochezeku Zana. Okay, don't have that here. Okay, this person, the name is not here. Who is having this proposal? A PhD. Okay, application of machine learning for automatic fault mapping and fracture detection from magnetic and symmetric.
That's me. That's me.
Okay,
That's
good. Okay, so that means you are the only one that your proposal is there. That's yeah. From what I've seen, okay, I think I'm going to start with you. From what I've seen, I think your proposal is okay. You know, and let me just chip in this, and I will just tell you a brief of my story. Is that there was a proposal I uploaded when I applied, and you know that recently they send you a mail that okay that you can upload your proposal again. That means they give you an opportunity to do editing.
Yes.
So when I was uploading that, I uploaded another version. When I was okay, you say your proposal. Maybe I will look at it again. I will mention some don't have names, some has names. So I will just read out the title so that you will identify if it is yours. So when they asked us to do editing, I uploaded another one. When I was going for the interview, it was another copy entirely I took to the interview venue. And what I did, I printed it so that I can just give the panel, I printed a few copies just to give the panel. And fortunately for me, I only have two member panel. One was very good in computer science, and one was very good in geology. So it was good in the petroleum science, but the computer science guy was, was holding me because my background is mathematics. I'm an applied mathematician, so he was holding me a lot on, methodology, numerical methods, and all of that. So when I was going for the interview, I had a fight. So if you still feel that, okay, you have something, the essence of saying that story is that, and I think all other people will, if you still feel that you have some things you still want to add before the interview, you can do that. No, nothing is going to, distort that. So, but for what I've seen, you did a good job. You did you have been able to, had, machine learning. This is where the world is going now. Using artificial intelligence to do all of this, and I can see you have mentioned the algorithms you are going to be using, and for me, I think this is okay. Neural network, which is okay, and just know how to. All the questions they are going to ask you is going to be based on this. So, and what I'm going to do now is to put you on the spot, to do a kind of interview for you, so that it can prepare you ahead for the stuff. So this is how they are going to grade you guys. They are going to grade you. I know maybe that would have been shared in the first meeting, which I didn't attend. They are going to look at your title, the background of your study. They are going to give you marks to the statement of the problem, significance to oil and gas, and aims and objectives. They are going to look at your literature review, acknowledgement of sources relevant to literature, extent of knowledge. They are going to look at your method of data analysis, your techniques. They are going to look at your sampling method, design method, and they are going to look at expected result, outcome, your references, and they are going to give marks on the quality of proposal. They are going to look at how you are contributing to knowledge and the benefit of this proposal to Nigeria, And then in the interview, they are going to look at your comportment, you don't need to be scared, these are lecturers in Nigeria university. So if you're having an interaction, and some of them are PTDF staff, of course. So if you're having an interaction with your lecturer, you shouldn't be scared. So your comportment, you must be bold. Sometimes you can even say rubbish and still be bold about it. So your confidence level matters. So application to oil and gas, knowledge, they want to also test your knowledge of the subject matter. And so they are going to grade first class as marks, second class as so it stop at second class lower. For your first degree, if you are not PhD, they are going to grade your master's based on distinction. I had a distinction in my master, so they gave me. And don't worry, it doesn't matter if your master certificate, has distinction on it. I did my master in uni, so it doesn't have distinction. But you know that if you have 70 and above, you grade over 100%. So if you have something and above in your total aggregate, you have a distinction. So that was how they would say, okay, oh, you have a distinction, because there was no distinction. So I went there with my transcript. So my transcript was able to spell that out. So you can also, when you are going, you can go with your transcript if it is not written on your certificate that you have a distinction. And in some other places, I know for like Unilag, if you have your master from Unilag, I think it starts from 4.5 because they grade based on CGPA. So some other schools use CGPA. So they'll be able to know that you have distinction. They'll know if you have merit, and then there are others. And if you have publication, try and print it out. Audit. If you have publication, audit, print it out. They'll look at it. Then I don't have really strong publication, but I have some publications. So I put it out. So I got my. If you have awards, just go. I went with my university award that I got when I was speaker in the faculty in my undergraduate. I got in my department. So just go with those awards. Just go. Just go with any award you can lay on. So I went with all the awards. In fact, the plaque, I hold it. I pack it inside my bag. So I don't know, maybe all of this. I'm just emphasizing all of this because maybe that was what made me to be top in my. I'm from the Southwest. You know how Southwest, not to downplay all of that zone. You know how Southwest is very, very, very competitive. And also, I know Southeast is always very competitive too. So you have to, be able to distinguish yourself. So I went with all of that, and I think maybe those are the things people will tell you. And I want to correct this notion. I think because I don't want to take much time in the general group. I don't know anybody when I got PTD. In fact, I don't have an idea I was even surprised I was called for the interview, and I was even surprised I was selected. So people will tell you that for you to get anything in Nigeria, you must have connect. Joshua is my friend. We met during the induction in Abuja, and we both shared our story. He doesn't even know anybody too, and he was Timothy too. Timothy is not here today. He's almost running up his PhD. The same thing. So these are people we have shared our stories together. So I don't have any connect. So people will tell you that, oh, you can't get any. Don't have that kind of mindset. Go there with a good intent. I've seen people got it, without knowing anybody. Of course, there can be some there's no perfect system. There can be some inaccuracy in the system. Of course, we cannot rule out that. So I just want you to go with this mind that it is doable. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to do my best to get it. So I'm going to put you on the spot. So can you tell me? You can't on your video because it will be good to have this interaction. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot one after the other. Somebody said, "Good, my name is John Joel. I'm in country scholar currently running my master's in pet care at Abuja. Please, can I get a PhD template for PTDF scholarship on any science course?" Are you just applying now, or you are part of those that want to do interview now? The Joel John. Okay, somebody said I will look at it. Okay, Jumbo.
Hello.
Okay, I'm going to check. I think I have that. I might not stay to the end because of power outage, sir. Please, I'm really hoping. I don't know. Okay. We have some. Okay, we can send you one copy. Yeah. Send you one copy. I'm going to do that now so that before I forget. Oh. Okay. Good. Let me take you while I'm trying to send this guy. Ruth, you are raising up your hand. Can you go ahead?
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, good afternoon or is it evening? I just wanted to ask about the virtual interview because that's what I'm going for. Any peculiarities?
Yeah, if I have your proposal, it will be easier for me. Maybe I have your proposal. Yeah, it's possible I have your proposal. Like I'm starting with Joel now. We are going to do this. We are going to start the virtual interview, and I'm starting with Joel. We are going to do it for like maybe 10 minutes because the interview is not always long, really.
For the virtual?
I said the interview of PTDF is not always long.
Okay, sir.
So I will not make the interview we are going to do here to be long,
Oh. Okay, sir. All right. Let me see if I can forward my proposal. But that will be when I get home because I'm working right now. Thank you.
Just hold on. It's possible I have it because they send me people that are supposed to be in the group. They send me the proposal. Joel John, can you confirm if you have got? Okay, he's not here again. So, okay, but I think I've sent that to him. Okay, Ruth, I will still get to you. It's likely I have your proposal, and if I don't have, I will just send my email so that I can have it. So, I'm also okay. We now have one Joel, so I can call you Joel then. So, can you talk to us about your proposal?
Well,
Can you give a brief? That's one of the first things. Some of the things that was asked that you should talk about your proposal, and they can cut you short while you are pick you up on a particular point. So whatever point you are going to say in this, because they might not read these 5 pages. Really, let me tell you the fact. Yeah, it is from what you are saying. They're going to me now. When I was doing my interview, they picked me up on the methodology. The man that is a computer science picked me up on the methodology. So, so go ahead.
So the research proposal is on the application of machine learning for automatic fault mapping and fracture detection from aeromagnetic and seismic data in the Niger Delta, Nigeria. And the reason for this proposal is that in the Niger Delta, fault mapping and fracture detection on seismic and magnetic data are often done manually. And since it's a manual process, it involves, it is cumbersome. when it comes to the interpretation of these different faults we have in the Niger Delta. Niger Delta fault system is a complex one because we have different fault systems in the Niger Delta. The most prominent one is the growth fault. Because growth fault is not static, it is a dynamic fault. So it usually poses a lot of problem in the Niger Delta when it comes to mapping it. So the time allocated to mapping this fault it requires the knowledge of a geologist who understand the terrain of the Niger Delta. So I am now adopting machine learning algorithm to ensure that fault mapping in the Niger Delta is done quickly and accurately. Quickly and accurately in the sense that it require less effort in mapping this fault. And what I'm going to do in order to be able to establish that is to investigate the effectiveness of using deep learning neural network technique to, map these faults automatically, either the fault or fracture detection, as the case may be, using aeromagnetic and seismic data as an example of a good data that I'm going to use. Seismic data is the most effective data acquisition in the Niger Delta. Although the input of ferromagnetic data is for me to be able to have a regional survey of the area. I have carried out researches relating to the use of aeromagnetic data, and I have seen its effectiveness when it comes to sedimentary terrain. And since Niger Delta region of Nigeria is a sedimentary environment, aeromagnetic data is very useful when it comes to the sedimentary basin evaluation. So I will adopt the technique of machine learning to be able to see how I can marry aeromagnetic data and seismic data into doing this. And the method I'm going to use will be in different phases. The very first thing is to engage in data collection. I will need to collect data using seismic, well log, and aeromagnetic data. The seismic data and well log data, I will need to write to DPR to be able to afford me the privilege of having the data. While the aeromagnetic data, I can easily get it from Nigeria Geological Survey Agency. After the data has been gotten, so I have to process the data, and the steps involved is that I have to reduce the noise in this data.
Okay. That is good for an introduction. Yeah, your methodology, neural networks, they work in terms of nodes and networks. How does this, how are you going to apply this method, to your data set, since you are going to have discretized or counting data set, as the case may be? So how do you intend to connect these two aspects to data? Can you explain more how you are going to use neural network in this scenario, and how it's going to help your results, and how it's applicable to to detect all these faults and fracture that you want to detect?
Thank you very much, sir. There's an appropriate model in Python libraries that can be used to automate this seismic data that we call SegY. So in Python library, we have a portion that we call SegPy, so to speak. So this SegPy, which is a model, I will input my data set, the raw data. In the raw data, I would have carried out labeling of the suspected faults. So having done that, I will now use deep learning neural network. Since deep learning neural network is very effective for image recognition, and it is what I'm going to use. After I have input this data,
are your data going to be images?
No. But seismic data, since I have to ensure that because fault mapping will come out as an image, so to speak. It is a visual display, so to speak. Faults is like it's like we're having displacements in rocks, So it is something that I will see visual. There will be visual inspection of this seismic data that I have collected. We call it segway. So after I've inserted this in the library, I will need to train the model. Hello?
I'm with you.
Okay. So training the model will involve me inputting the data into the model, then allowing it to make predictions. And then I will adjust. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, and I will adjust the model parameters based on its errors, although it may be tasking in the first place, but once its errors or the errors generated has been minimized, debugged, so to speak, at the end of the day, there will be what we call validation and testing of that particular result.
So what percentage of the data set do you want to train, and what percentage do you want to test?
The percentage of data set to train. I've not thought of that.
So you can see you have some work to do. If you on your panel, you have somebody who is computer mathematician like me, that have used neural network before. You can see where I'm picking you up. That has used neural network before. I have publication on neural network. Assuming it was Joshua too that is there, he's going to pick you up too. When you are doing training and testing, you must, in fact, you can also have a validation data set. But you can tell them you can have 3: train, test data, and validation data set. You can take 70% to train, 10% to validate, and 20% to test. And you can say that you want to use the cost validation method to validate your method. So you can see that you still have some work to do. You know?
Yes, I do.
You have some work to do, because you must understand. They want to see that you have depth in the subject matter, not that you just went to go and pick a topic and then you feel that okay, you know. So they want to see that you have depth in the subject matter. So, and if you are not doing that, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a serious problem. So, did you get the recap now?
Yes. I'll work on that aspect. So after, okay, let's assume that the training model will be 70% and the validation is 10%, then the testing is 20%. After I might have done that, the next stage is to apply the model. So once I have trained the model and validated it, so such a thing can be used to identify and map faults in new or unlabeled seismic data from the Niger Delta. So the machine learning will be able to recognize patterns.
Yes.
That is associated with faults, then highlight the areas in the seismic images.
Of course.
Then
now you are talking. Yeah. So what you will do is, after now, more about this DNN techniques and how it's applicable to your semiotic data and how you can detect. You have mentioned some very valid points. You know, you have to say that, and you also have to know a bit of literature. What work are you trying to improve? Can you talk about that? What work in all this your literature review? What work are you trying to improve? And what is your contribution to knowledge?
Olayinka et al. 2020 has developed a hybrid method for fault detection from aeromagnetic data. It's part of my literature review in the Okitipupa oil field in Ondo State, Nigeria. So it was able to use an algorithm that will and a feed-forward neural network, and in its research, it was able to achieve a high accuracy in fault detection by demonstrating the potential of neural network. But in this case now, I want to go in depth into applying these. It was able to use aeromagnetic data only. So I want to go in depth by applying this machine learning language in the Niger Delta, which is the core aspect of the oil and gas region in the country. So I will marry the aeromagnetic data with seismic data to be able to see how faults can be mapped automatically. It will reduce cost. It will also enhance productivity by doing this. So majorly, I have other, authors who have worked using machine learning language, especially when it comes to
in your review of papers, what gaps have you observed?
The only gap I observe is that the author in this question was able to use just aeromagnetic data. He has not applied it in seismic data, which is one of the most important methods that we use in oil and gas exploration, a geophysical method that we use in oil and gas exploration. Aeromagnetic data is just for regional study, and it does not really tell us the oil reserve, the mapping of faults majorly. The major faults we have in the Niger Delta is basically through the seismic method. And the research that has been carried out so far within the region in Nigeria has not really substantiated that using machine learning. So I want to use machine learning in this particular aspect. So that's
what's the application of your work to the oil and gas industry, and how will it benefit the Nigeria as a country?
Fault mapping. Okay, that should be. Fault mapping is one of the core area or aspects of oil and gas. Yeah, especially when it deals with knowing the what we call the oil potential of that area. So the benefit of this to the oil and gas industry is that once we can map faults, we'll be able to know the quantity of oil that is accumulated within that confinement of fault. It's like when we're having faults can serve as a cap that prevents oil from seeping out. So once
I think you should what you should say is that it will help us as a nation, to avoid this oil spillage. You have to be very practical. We have to identify one of the problems we are having, and also it will be able to help us to detect where vandalism has occurred. You have to link all of that. Is that clear?
Okay, thank you, sir.
You have to do that.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. I think I've spent a lot of time with you, and I still have people to. Okay, yeah, good job. I wish you all the best, and you can still be here if you have any, any question.
Thank you, Dr. Kayode.
Okay, Joe. All the best.
You ask my question later, right?
Okay, you have question, Abi?
Yes, I was just wondering, for some of us who have a bit of literature, should we print out all the literatures that we have? There's some publications, rather.
No. Just print the number one. You should prioritize a journal that is well indexed or has good impact factor.
Okay.
You also, the next is to prioritize a paper that is related to what you want to do. So they just want to see like 2, 3, or 4. So
okay.
So not all. Don't print all. Just print the one that you know that this is solid. And then anybody that sees it will say, okay, it's good,
Thank you, Dr. Kayode.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Application of polymers and composite. Okay, yeah. Jumbo, are you still here? Jumbo, are you here? I have your proposal, of course. I have your proposal, and I think okay, Joel, you are raising up your hand. The other Joel, not Amoson. Were you not the one that asked for a template of PhD proposal? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I think you are still muted.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you are the one that asked for a template of PhD proposal.
Yes, I was the
Have
one.
you seen it in your mail? I sent you one in your mail.
I really appreciate. I've seen it now.
Okay.
One more question I want to ask before I quickly move out of the meeting. I'm here to just get knowledge. I really benefited from you. The question I want to ask is, for those of you that are doing PhD, does PhD covers for somebody who is married? If you want to go to the UK or France and you're a PhD student and you're married, does it cover for couples as well?
No, they will give you support to take your spouse, but they are not. It's not part of. They have abolished that. Before they normally give money to spouse and all of that, but now they have abolished that. They will just give you all the support, to take your spouse, and of course, what you'll be earning will be okay for you and your family. Yeah. So,
okay, sir.
There's no special allowance for families and all of that.
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
God bless
you. Yeah. Jumbo, are you ready? Jumbo, are you ready? Go there, Jumbo. I can't hear you. If you are not ready, I will go to another person. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
I'm in a very... Okay. How about now?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Jumbo, are you still there? I can hear you. I've put it. Okay. If you are not ready, Unjoku Ocheze Christiana is not here. Michael.
I'm actually talking. You're not. I'm talking, but I'm not getting feedback.
I said,
are you asking me questions? No, are you asking questions, or should I just talk about what I'm doing?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah. So we need to start. So the first thing is, can you speak about your proposal?
Okay, so my proposal title is Application of Polymers and Composites in Oil and Gas Piping in Nigeria. So as pipes are usually used in Nigeria for transporting of our crude from the upstream to our final consumers. And in Nigeria, our oil wells are usually very corrosive. So as our fields age, they become more corrosive. Typically, carbon steel has been predominantly used in the oil and gas industry. However, because of corrosion, there's a need for other kinds of materials, for which polymer and composites are one of them. So the aim of this research is to be able to find out those materials that could serve in place of our typical carbon steel, which are also not corrosive and lightweight and also durable. So for this work, the methods we use is multi-criteria decision analysis. This will help us select those non-composites and polymers which can actually be used that satisfy the same criteria as your typical carbon steel, but will be lightweight and durable also. So there've also been works on areas like that, but so far there are still areas for improvement, like chemical resistance and mechanical strength. So these are the areas I want to look further into and see how we can use non-metals and non-metallic materials and polymers and composites, since we produce petrochemicals in Nigeria. So this is another way to also harness that in the future, because I think as fields, as the oil and gas industry improves, there will also be need for better materials. So what I intend to do is, first of all, study the existing non-metallic pipe materials available, then determine the best material combination of polymers and composites that can now be applied. So at the end of this work, I hope that we'll be able to get better blends and have more materials that can be used that are corrosion resistant and also lightweight and cost effective. Thank you.
Can you talk more about your methodology? Your methodology is not clear. How do you intend to approach your research?
Okay, I've added a bit to what I sent you. So to be able to select material first, so what I want to do is to use the multi-criteria decision analysis method to now check for the normal criteria which your carbon steel has, then check for which polymer materials and composites have the same criteria. Then I can now use maybe an AHP, analytical hierarchical process, to now select which of this will be the best fit that can now replace carbon steel in reality. That's basically what I intend to do.
Okay, how does this work benefit our country?
Okay, we spend a lot of money for lot of money when we have to change pipelines quite often because of corrosion. So on the long run, if we have better materials that are corrosion resistant, it saves us. And also leakages. There are so many times that we've had busted pipes because of corrosion, and that's also cost us in terms of pollution and other factors. So I feel like if we can replace them with better alternatives that can function also in the same way, it saves us cost, it saves us from the other factors, pollution and environmental factors also attached to spills.
Okay, that's good. I don't know. Under your research problem, you wrote oil field together. I think there should be a space here. I don't know. I'm looking at your proposal. I just want to see if there's anything. Like I said, you can still correct your proposal. Make sure you point it out.
Yeah.
If you have any updates, you can give it to the panel. It doesn't matter. They don't. Sometimes they don't even read all of these things. Sometimes it is what you give to them at the panel. They will just be scrolling to and ask a question about it, and they will even appreciate that you pointed it out, and gave it to them. So most time they have a lot of people to attend to, so they don't read all of these things thoroughly. So they will just ask you questions based on what you say. You can see it was based on what you are saying. That what I did also was not to read your proposal thoroughly. I'm doing as a panelist, seeing your proposal for the first time and picking you up based on what you are saying. You know? And so that is very, very important. You have to be bold. You have to. I like your confidence. I like how you are very clear. The clarity is there. So you have to, go in that direction. And of course, your comportment is highly commendable. So you have to do that. So I think you are good to go. And I don't know if you have any question.
Okay, I think I was a bit confused about my methodology, so I don't know, was I able to convince you with what I said about the methodology?
Yeah. What I can say is that for me, the methodology is not like the first person I took, the methodology, he was able to explain how he's going to apply the method, and how it relates to the problem he's trying to solve. And I think that is lacking in what you are saying. And I'm glad you were able to point that out. Yeah, of course, I skipped that. I don't know why. Because you can see I said you should talk about your method because I was not too sure, because it was in my front here, and I was not too sure of what you are trying to do, because it's a material characterization of selected polymers and composites will first be carried out. Yeah, you want to characterize materials, okay, especially testing for chemical resistance and mechanical. What method do you want to use to characterize?
Okay, can I read what I've redrafted for that? So you just
okay.
I couldn't send you this one, so let me just read it out. So material selection will be carried out using multi-criteria decision analysis to select the non-metallic materials to be studied. Thereafter, material characterization of selected polymers and composites will be done, especially testing for chemical resistance and mechanical behavior under certain loads.
Read again.
I should read it again, okay?
Yeah.
Materials selection will be carried out using multi-criteria decision analysis.
Okay,
Select a
multi-criteria decision
non-mechanical
analysis. What's the method all about?
Yes. Okay, it's basically a material selection method. So there are different approaches. There's one called an analytical hierarchy process. So you create like a set of criteria. You have like
Is it a computational method? Is it a computational method or?
No, it's mostly it's really it's more decisional than computational.
Okay.
So because you have to now select the criteria you want, and then do like there's a way you do which is better, which do you want first. Like you cannot put them in hierarchy. So this property is more important compared to the other one. Then you can now begin. There's a formula we use for it. I don't know how best to explain that.
Okay.
So
No worries. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then further analysis will be done. Okay, that is well coined. Now you have mentioned the methods, and it will be good also you mentioned the two methods. Maybe you put it in brackets. When you mention the name of the method, you put it in bracket. Further analysis will be done using computer simulation to optimize. What kind of simulation are you doing to optimize application of
so I checked and I think that I could use pipe phase. So I'm not so familiar with it. That's why it's not included.
No. PhD is a learning process, a training process. But you just have to have an idea. Like I said, you'll be picked up by what you say. So when you say that pi, whatever now, they'll say, can you explain more about it?
Okay.
So just have an idea before you go. Somebody can pick you up from it. You get so. Okay, I'm glad that you're going to amend this proposal and then print it out for them and then just give it to them when you get there. All the best, Jumbo.
Okay, one last thing, sorry. Can I send you like the final draft? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can send it to me. No worries.
Okay. Thank
you. Unchoku Okeze Christiana is not here. The remaining two proposals I have here is but that doesn't mean that I will not take all other people. Okon Joshua Oyosu. Okay. Now, Michael, Patient, Tiati, Brenda, where are your proposals? Are you guys there? Michael, Patience, Brenda, Tiati. Are you guys there?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Where are your proposals? Or you are just an observer? Are you going for this interview that is happening for Monday?
No, sir. I'm just an observer.
Okay, you're just an observer. Patience. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
It's good to observe. You're going to learn a lot. Patience. Brenda, Michael.
Good afternoon, sir.
I
applied for the Monday? No.
Okay, you're also an observer.
I applied for the scholarship. I just heard of this stuff this evening, so I just joined. So
you are not, you said you applied. Is it this year?
Yes.
You are proposing to
yes, this year.
You were not selected to go for the interview.
I was selected, but I just heard of like someone just said this.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are here to learn. So where is your proposal?
My proposal is not there, but
yeah, you can send that to me. Just send it to my email.
Okay. Can I have your email, sir?
You can check the charts. You can check the charts.
Okay.
You can check the charts for my email. Okay, Michael, while you are sending that, Patience and Brenda.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Are you going for the speak interview?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
What happened was that a time duration was given for the proposal to be submitted, and so when I logged into my WhatsApp, okay,
it doesn't matter. Right. I think maybe you didn't start with us. I said when you applied, you had a proposal.
Very well. Very well.
Yeah, now they mail you guys to update. Did you update? If you don't update, it's fine. Did you update? You don't update. If you don't update, it's fine. But at the end of the day, you got an email for the venue of the interview and your time schedule. Yes or no?
I did.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I said earlier, maybe because I think you joined it. In fact, a day before the interview, you can have a new proposal. Just make sure you print it along and give it to them. It doesn't matter. PTDF is that flexible.
No, I mean, Dr. Joshua gave a time where we submit.
Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can send it to my email.
So
okay. I understand now. Send it to my email. My email is in the chat. My email is in the chat. Send it to my email.
All right. Thank you.
Patience. Patience Elliot, are you there? Patience Elliot. So that means we are going to take Michael and Brenda when the email drops. The email is there to drop.
Dr. Kayode.
Yes, Joel.
Dr. Kayode, so as this issue of award.
Yes.
Award. I don't know. How many are they going to grade? Is it just 1, 2? Or...
I went with about 4 or 5.
Wow.
But they are going to grade, from what I'm seeing here, is 5. So go with like 5 because it's 1 mark each. Go with like at least 5. If you can go with 6, 7, 8, it's good. So that if they drop 1, you'll be able to. It's the total for award is 5 marks. So they are going to grade. It's 1 mark per award.
Wow. Okay.
I'm still waiting for the email of. I hope I gave them the right email. Let me look at the chat again. Yeah, I think it's correct. Oshinubi@IEEE.org. So we are going to take those 2 and then. So like Joshua said, this room can close before others. So I can almost okay. Okay, Michael, yours has dropped. I'm still waiting for Tiati. Okay, I think Tiati too has dropped. No, not Tiati, Brenda rather. Okay. Brenda too has dropped. Okay, let's take Michael first. Or should we do ladies first? Sorry, I just realized that my mouth is bad. I can hear you, but okay, can't hear me. Let me try using the system. Okay. So Joshua Ocon is the one using Patient Elliott. That name is confusing. Why can't you use your name? I never knew that. And I've closed you. I thought the person, I have your proposal. I thought the person is not available. Okay. So, Mikey, are you there?
Yes.
So let's take you. Can you talk about your proposal?
So my proposal is about analyzing the patterns and trends of oil theft and pipeline vandalism in Nigeria using a data analysis approach. So it's mainly about investigating alternative strategies to solving the issues of oil theft and pipeline vandalism using data from using satellite imagery, media data, government data to analyze the patterns. And the main objectives will be to identify the patterns and trend of the oil theft and vandalism incidents in Nigeria, and to identify the factors contributing to these factors. It will also evaluate the effectiveness of the current approaches which have been used to address these issues. And the major objective will be to build a predictive model that predicts the patterns in this oil theft and vandalism and how to prevent them. So for the methodology, it will be a mixed approach, which would consist of, just as I said, satellite sourcing data from satellite imagery, media stories, government reports, and social media feeds. And this will then use machine learning techniques to analyze this data and see, like, what do I call it?
The way you'll be talking to your panelists, professors?
No.
You have to see here as we are trying to mimic. I have a PhD, so I can be a professor on that panel.
Yeah.
So you have to take it as that I'm the professor interviewing you. All the people that will be on your panel are paid others like me. So you can't be saying, what do you call it when you are discussing with me? So you can't use that.
Okay.
So you can continue.
So mainly just as I said, I would use satellite imagery, media reports, and all to build a model that predicts how these things occur in order to curb them.
What's the model? What's the model?
Okay.
What kind of model it is?
The models I plan on using is decision tree, random.
You didn't say you want to plan to use a model. You want to build a model. What kind of model do you want to build?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
What kind of model are you trying to build?
Is it a
differential equation model? Is it a partial differential equation model? Is it a statistical model? Is it a regression model? Is it a mixed model? Is it a general additive model? Is it a general linearized model? Is it an exponential model?
Okay.
Is it a logistic model? You don't know that the person on your panel this morning. Okay, I'm still in morning. The person on your panel this morning I have depth in data analysis and machine learning and all of that. My background is applied mathematics. I'm currently in the School of Informatics, Computing and Cyber Systems. So, and it's possible too, you have a computer scientist on your panel. So, for what I've seen, you are not still abreast and clear with the methodology you want to use. You want to use image data. The algorithms, the data analysis algorithm, the machine learning algorithm you'll be using should be an algorithm that will identify that are used for image recognition.
Yeah.
So what algorithm, what data analysis are used for image recognition?
I did not, I planned on using random forest and decision tree, which was specified there, but after what you said, I think I have to really think of that again and build deeper.
The only prayer you can pray is that you should not have somebody that you know, that is not good in all of this in your panel. If not, it's going to pick you up on you want to do so, like somebody Joel, neural networks can identify that, you know. Perhaps support vector machine too can do that, of course. And some other good algorithm. The one you just mentioned, I'm not too sure. I'm not really too sure that they can.
It's not for imagery. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. So how is your work different? Okay, if I'm assuming I'm a panelist that is, you know, I have listened to people talk about oil theft, vandalism, you know, at least today now, 2 people have talked about oil theft. So how is your work different from all other people's work? Okay, assuming you and Joel, you are interviewed by the same person, or maybe somebody, it might not even be Joel, somebody before you has come to talk about this data analysis, this vandalism. So as a panelist, I would like, what even make your work different from other people? Because PhD is contribution is what is adding knowledge to the body of knowledge. So you are doing something new. So how is your work different from all other people?
From the literature I've read so far, I would say they have not really come to a conclusive decision on what AI can do or machine learning can do. They say, yeah, it's possible to use this to curb oil vandalism and theft, but there's no assertive answer to that question. That's why I'm researching this again.
You have to research. Your methodology is still bad. You have to go and research. You have to cite. There are a lot of work on neural networks, support vector machine, KNN, RSTable, those things. These are methods that are good for image recognition, depending on what you want to do. So you have to cite them. And your work should not be too about all Nigerian authors and all of that. There are a lot of international authors. Go to Google Scholar, you see a lot of, you know, all just by mere searching Google. So you still have a lot of work to do in your methodology. You still have a lot of work to do to grasp what you really want to do, and how it connect the dots, you know, with your topic, with your abstract, with your aims and objectives. So you still have that work to do, and that's why you are here today, you know, to pinpoint all these loopholes, and you know, so you don't need to feel bad or whatever. So it's just to pinpoint all of this, and you know, so that's it. I hope you'll be able to improve that and get it done. Is that clear?
Sir. Yes, sir. But can I beg you for
questions?
something?
Yeah, questions. Yeah, you can. After the whole thing, I'm allowing people to ask questions, so you can ask questions.
Because I did not know of this platform, I just got to know about it this evening. So can you please, like, really, I know you just went through the proposal just roughly. Can you please go through it more, like, in depth, and maybe mark out some things for me that you could reply?
Perhaps. When is your interview?
My interview is on Tuesday.
Perhaps you can do a follow-up email tomorrow if I've read, and because it's just you ambushing me. So I didn't put that in my weekend plans, but you can ask me on Sunday and see if I've read it again.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Always welcome. Okay, Brenda, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, can you speak about your work?
Okay, I'll be talking on my work. My research is on the detection and cost-effective remediation of lead concentration in soil and water for an enhanced ecological benefit of the Niger Delta. Now, we all know that one of the greatest enemies of the environment is oil pollution. And oil pollution degrades the environment. It damages water bodies, soil, plants, and animals. And we know that chemically it releases toxic heavy metals that causes harm to the environment. And then one of such heavy metal is lead. And lead is a toxic metal that can cause severe brain damage, kidney damage, weakness, neuropathy to humans, especially children. And that is why this study, or the study area, is Ohaji Egbema of the Bini Formation. That's why it's chosen, because it has various communities surrounded by about 83 oil wells. And that leaves us with why we're doing this research. Now, the aim of this research is to determine the concentration and distribution of lead in the water resources, soil and stream sediment of the area, and to evaluate its environmental implication and provide possible solutions to remediate lead pollution in the environment with the following objective: to measure the concentration and distribution pattern of lead in soil, stream sediment, surface, and groundwater, so as to determine the pollution and contamination level or contamination level. Then to use contamination indices such as geo-accumulation factor, enrichment factor, and contamination factor. And this is to assess the quality of soil and water in the environment. To also assess the environmental impact of effluents released by the oil and gas on the environment, and also to provide possible decontamination techniques for removal of lead and other heavy metals from the environment. Now, how do we achieve that? The research will involve the field work and the laboratory work. It will cut across the agricultural, industrial, and residential area in the study area. And for the soil samples, sampling grid log, that's a square grid, will be drawn out in the base map so as to obtain representative samples from across the area. And then a clean stainless auger will be used to about a depth of 15 to 20 centimeters to get samples and deposited or stored in a clean sample bag for analysis. Same way the stream sediment is going to be obtained. And for the surface water, the graph sampling method will be used. And for the groundwater, the boreholes are going to be pumped to at a reasonable time before samples are being taken. Now, these samples will be examined using the ultraviolet fluorescence spectroscopy, the near-infrared spectroscopy, while the concentration of total hydrocarbon can be analyzed using the gas chromatography coupled with film ionization detector. And now the heavy metal removal technique will be done using the absorption technique, and the trash treasure technique of Nityananda Agati will be adopted. And here it uses waste to make composite or absorbent to remove for the removal of lead. And this is chosen because of its availability, its affordability, and ease to use. And two types of waste will be used. That's the biomass agricultural waste, which includes sawdust, neem bark, orange peel, apple peel, eggshells, etc. And then the industrial and anthropogenic waste, waste carton, fly ash, waste iron oxide powder, lithium batteries, waste lithium batteries, all waste. And this time they are just going to be modified using the metal oxide nanoparticles, and this will boost the absorption capacity. And now the coming together of this to boost the absorption capacity, and when they are being mixed with the lead, the aqueous solution of the lead, because of the magnetic property in them, they absorb they have active site on the carbonaceous material. The waste actually being chosen because of their carbonaceous material, and they have wide surface area, so an active site, so they attract the lead to it. And the good thing about this is that it can be dissolved, that's separated from the composite that is being formed. And if this is done, this can just be done using the permanent magnet. And this composite can be reused again. And at the end of this research, it's actually, the research can actually be monitored using the ACP AES, that's the inductively coupled plasma atomic emission spectroscopy, inductively coupled plasma mass spectroscopy, and even the AAS, that's atomic adsorption spectroscopy. And at the end of this research, it is suspected that the concentration of lead in the study area and how it is distributed will be deduced. And the impact of lead in the area should be predicted, and cost-effective remediation methods should be provided. Thank you.
Okay. How is your work related to oil and gas? How is it applicable to oil and gas sector?
Actually, it's everything oil and gas, because oil and gas is actually a problem that has so I say it's a problem of everything here is oil and gas, because I'm looking for a cost-effective. Lead is a product of the oil in the environment. So oil pollution gives out lead. Let's say lead is an element or a toxic metal from the oil, that's environment, and this is a problem in the oil in the Niger Delta or everywhere that has oil. So this work is just going to know how this affects the environment. It's also going to bring a cost-effective, like a rapid and very affordable, inexpensive method to take away the lead. And it's also applicable to other heavy metals, to take away the problem if the lead that's causing the problem, the death, the weakness, the kidney diseases, and all these things from the environment. So we can see that we've used a problem to solve a problem. That means we've used the waste that is in the environment, which has been a problem, industrial waste, anthropogenic waste, to solve another problem, which is pollution.
What cost-effective method are you using?
We're using the adsorption method, and that is where I said we're using the what do they call them? The biomass, that's agricultural waste, and
are you going to have data? Are you going to have data from this work, from these field studies and all of that?
Yes,
definitely.
We're going to. Yes, there's the data. We're going to.
If on your panel you have somebody who is inclined to cost effectiveness analysis, there's what we call cost effectiveness. If I'm in your panel, yes, one of the things I'm going to suggest is you should go and study about what we call cost effectiveness analysis. There's a method for that. You can Google it. Cost effectiveness analysis. And if you're going to have a data, it's going to suggest to you the kind of interventions and the list of these interventions that will be more effective, to curb this remediation you are talking about. So you have to go and I don't know, maybe you can still improve this, if you can still add cost effectiveness analysis to it. I don't know what's your background? What's your BSc, MSc about?
Geology. This is hydrogeology.
Cost analysis has some mathematics, but I can see that you also got some equations here. So it has some mathematics and all of that. So if you can do the mathematics like an optimal control method. And so you can go and read about it. Just type on Google cost effectiveness analysis.
Yeah. I'll do that.
So if you can add to this work, it's going to enrich it, because you might have somebody who is, because he will be so keen on this cost effectiveness, because everybody's looking at cost. And one of your selling points with your project is really unique. I'm glad that this is unique. So you have to lay emphasis. One of your strengths is this cost effectiveness. You have to lay emphasis on it. You have to connect the dots. You have to connect the dots properly. You have not connected the dot properly. I asked you a question online, guys. You have to connect the dots properly. You have to see how I'm a mathematician and I got this grant. So I was able to connect mathematics to oil and gas. And I got it. I got it as a mathematician. So it's unique. A lot of people were surprised. They thought that the grant is meant for geologists, people that did chemistry. I got it as a mathematician. My BSc is in mathematics, my MS is in mathematics. So I went there as a pure mathematician, an applied mathematician. So, and I got this grant. So it's all about connect, because I was able to connect. At the panel that day, I was able to connect the mathematics to oil and gas. And they were shocked. And they gave it to me. Yes, and they gave it to me. And I did, my proposal was what I did. I worked on COVID. I did modeling of COVID-19, because I started my master's and my PhD rather at the height of COVID. So, and I said, okay, I have interest in COVID, and I changed. That's how PTDF is. You can change. You might decide not to do all these things you are presenting, all of you, and you guys need to know that. You go there, present this thing to get the grants. When you get the grants, you can change school, you can change your research direction. The PTDF is that flexible. So don't be thinking that, oh, this is what I want to go and do, and you are taking it so hard. Take it so hard to get the grant. Defend it and get the grant. So, but you can change. I did work on COVID. So when I applied, was there COVID? No, I applied in 2018. I was COVID now. The major thing is that they want you to get the PhD. Make sure you graduate. So that's the major thing. So I think you need to improve all of that. Yeah. From what I've seen here, the proposal it's okay. I like the fact that you also you are studying a particular location. So that makes your work. I don't need to ask you. You can say I didn't ask you that your contribution to Nigeria, but you are studying a particular region. And I like the fact that you are concentrating in a particular region to solve a particular problem in a particular region in Nigeria. And that's one of your selling points. You have to go and you have to see how you can push that, And these graphics have shown that if you can put this graphic in the center, take it to the center, centralize, just put control, what is control? If it is Word that you use to type, but if it is LaTeX, you can just put centering in LaTeX. There's a command for centering in LaTeX. But if it is, I think it's Control E also to center in Word. So you can do that.
Yes, I can do that. Yeah.
And do that center. Make sure that this image is center so that this label too will be in the center, which is good. They are looking at all these technicalities. So make sure that anything you will say, anything you are putting here, you have a knowledge of it. They might not pick you up from my angle now. And you can be very lucky and they pick you up from what I've made. So make sure that you do all of that. So that's fine. Yeah. Any question? Yeah, questions before I take Joshua Okon. I've closed this proposal. So I need to go and start looking for it now. Because I thought the person is not here. Okay, I've seen Joshua Okon. Any question, Brenda? I can't hear you because it seems we have lost you again.
There's no question for now. Let me check.
Yeah. Maybe before the end of the stuff, you have questions. Joshua Okon, can you unmute yourself and let's start? Can you speak about your research? Joshua Okon, are you there? Joshua Okon, we can't hear you. If anybody has question, I can be taking that while we are still expecting. Oh, Joshua, he's out. Maybe you want to log in. Yeah, I still have some time. I'm supposed to have leave this, but I still have some time. I have another meeting for 10 a.m. here, so, but I'm still with you guys. So. Joshua Alcon is not back. If anybody has questions, we can take. I still have some time. I'm just trying a bit to wait for Joshua Alcon.
Hello, Dr. Kayode.
Yes, I'm with you, Joe.
Sorry, you talk about meeting people in Abuja. Did you choose Abuja as your venue, or there was an event after the
No,
last
there will
selection?
be an event, induction. There will be an induction after the what's it called? After you are selected. So that's what takes to Abuja. No, I did my interview in Ibadan, UI. I did it in the UI.
Wow.
No, I was staying in
Wow.
Lagos, so I did it in the Southwest. So.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So we still travel to Abuja.
Yes, of course. In fact, if you are not smart about it, you go to Abuja about 3 times. But when I went once, I was sending my friend to go and do all of that things on my behalf. So I only went once. So I have a friend in Abuja because there are still some documentation. So, but somebody can do it on your behalf if you have somebody. But if you don't have, you have to go.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
but there are still some other documents. After you will do some stuff in the induction, but there are still some other things. So I have a friend then. I was just sending him to help me go. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for the information.
We are still going to wait for Alcon a bit. Maybe we'll now go back. I think we have spent the time allocated for this section, if I'm correct. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. We have waited a bit, and let's go back to the main section. I wish you guys all the best. You have my email. Try to reach out if there's anything that is confusing and you still need to clarify before your interview. I can always respond via email.
Thank
Please,
you very much.
for me, I'm a Christian. I believe that all good things come from God. So prayers are important. There's luck too there, and also putting in your best. I only applied for PTDF once and I got it. Once. Some people have applied 2, 3, 4. Me, only once. And God did it. I was surprised, so it took me 3 years to get a scholarship abroad. I was applying for different scholarship. I want to do my PhD abroad. So it took me 3 years from my master's to starting the PhD in 2019. So because I finished my master's in 2016. So just keep faith, do your best. It's competitive, of course. Yeah. And everything is going to be fine. So see you in the main room. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, sir.
Bye.